Welcome to Pursue on part 2 of Spring Boot. In the first part, we were covered how to create the Spring Boot project from scratch with help of Spring Initializer, and we were also seeing the import of the project into our IDE. So here we are focusing on the goals and features of Spring Boot. So welcome once again. Goals and features of Spring Boot used to build a production-ready applications quickly. Highlighted 2 points, that is production-ready and quickly. So let's see one by one. Spring Initializer, that is the website start.spring.io that is used to create a simple Spring Boot project. The next thing is Spring Boot Starter Projects, which helps to quickly define dependency for your projects. Spring Boot Auto Configuration, which is coming under this feature, which automatically provide configuration based on the dependency in the class path. Spring Boot Dev Tools will make applications changes without manually restart the server. If you made any changes, it will reflect in your application without manually restart the server. Starters. As I said, starters are the convenient dependency descriptor for different features. Spring Boot Starter Web, which enables to create web applications and REST APIs. It would define a number of dependencies like Spring Boot Starter JSON, Spring Boot Starter Tomcat, that is the default server. Actually, within this dependency, that is Spring Boot Starter Web, there are a number of dependencies like Spring Boot Starter JSON, Spring Boot Starter Tomcat. And next dependency is Spring Boot Starter Test, which helps you to write unit test in your application. And all of these are predefined in starter projects. It is not sufficient having the starter. We need to configure it using auto configuration. .xml file. Here you can able to see some dependencies like Spring Boot Starter Web, Spring Boot Starter Test. Those who see my part 1 of Spring Boot will understand that we have already created a simple Spring Boot project with help of Spring Initializer. There we have added a Spring Web dependencies now. So by adding that dependency, it is by default. These dependencies are generated by default, like Spring Boot Starter Web and Spring Boot Starter Test. And within these dependencies, there are so many other dependencies are linked that I will show later. So by going through these are the two dependencies that is generated by default. And as I said, Spring Boot Starter Test, which is used, this dependency is used to create a unit testing. And there was one more dependency like Spring Boot Dev Tools, which I have added manually for make it build easily, because if you made any changes here with help of this dependency, we need not to restart the server manually. By just refreshing the application, it will reflect those changes in the application as well with help of this dependency. That's why the Spring Boot Dev Tools is added here. Spring Boot Auto Configuration, this is one of the important feature coming under Spring Boot. So auto configuration, this example is given as Spring Boot Starter Web Auto configures the dispatcher servlet, embedded servlet container Tomcat is the default, and JSON, etc. These are some examples for that. There are default auto configuration as well, as we can override the current configuration using application.properties. For example, our default login level is info. We can configure it to debug level to get detailed logs with help of this application.properties. Loginlevel.org Spring Framework equal to debug. This line of code will, by adding this line of code in your application.properties, will help you to get a debug level, that is a detailed level of logging. In short, Spring Boot brings with a lot of dependencies and automatically look at the jar classes which coming under the external libraries, and it would automatically configure it. So at the left side you can able to see some external files for auto configuration, and these are some jar files to auto configure. And at the right side you can able to see from the pom.xml file I have said that the starter dependencies are linked with other multiple dependency. So within a single dependency there are so many other dependencies are linked. So I am here showing by clicking a starter boot Spring Boot Starter Web Dependency, which includes several other dependencies like Spring Boot Starter JSON, Spring Boot Starter Tomcat, and several others. So this is a very good feature coming under Spring Boot. So this is a view from my program. Of the production ready features are logging, different configuration for different environments use profiles, configuration properties, and then monitoring, that is a Spring Boot actuator. Continue this production ready features in the upcoming videos. That is, we will start with the managing application configuration using profiles in the next slides. So please follow, subscribe for the interesting part of the Spring Boot. Thanks for watching.